Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to continue studying the Yellow Emperor. So we are going to continue studying the first chapter, the universal truth, and then we are going to study the number 103. So actually you can check on your book. I don't know if the translation actually has the numbers, but you can check it out. Okay, so we are going to start. So in this chapter we are going to cover up the main question, that is this one, like why when people get older they cannot have children anymore, you know. So actually that's what we're going to go through this chapter, and I hope you enjoy and you like it. Okay, see you later. Okay, so in order to understand this chapter, I think there is some basic concepts you have to understand first. Okay, so we are going to go to this first, and then we are going to start with this chapter. So the first thing we have to know is that this chapter is going to talk about the physiology, okay, between like the difference of physiology between men and female, and then we are going to go through that thing. In order to understand that physiology, we have to understand three different things, okay? So the first thing is about reproductive organs, you know. Second thing, we are going to analyze the importance of the kidney and the function and kidney chi, so we are going to go through that thing. And the last thing we are going to go through is to know the differentiation between male and female, you know, in this physiological process. In this differentiation between male and female, there is three things to have in mind. The first thing is about the period of time. So in females it's going to be 7 years, in males it's going to be 8 years. And then we are going to talk about the second thing. We are going to talk about female. So females are going to be a little bit different from males. So as you can read there, they are going to grow and mature faster, but at the same way they are going to get weaker earlier than males, okay? And the third thing we are going to understand here is how female and males, they are going to start to degenerate in different ways, okay? So for females, they are going to start from the young meridians, and from the males, we are going to start from the kidney function, okay? So after you understand these three important things, we can go through the... Okay, so we are going to have in mind these three concepts, okay? And then through this chapter, I'm going to guide you and I'm going to explain you what is the point, okay? Okay, so the first thing to do, we are going to start with the reading. So it's going to be really easy, same as always. You are going to listen to music, you're going to listen to the thing, and then just read with me, okay? So here we go.
女子7岁，肾气盛，齿更发长。27而天癸至，人脉通，太冲脉盛，月事以时下，故有子。37肾气平均，故真牙生而长疾。47筋骨坚，发长疾，身体盛壮。57阳明脉衰，面始焦，发始堕。67三阳脉衰于上，面皆焦，发始白。77人脉虚，太冲脉衰少，天癸竭，地道不通，故形坏而无子也。
Okay, so you are going to give some minutes of your time. So first read this thing, stop the video, read the English translation, and then we are going to go through the explanation, okay? Okay, so right now we are going to start to explain what is the meaning of this chapter, okay? So we have to have in mind the question we are asking, okay? Why people cannot have kids after a certain type of age, okay? So we are going to answer this question, and the way to answer this question is going to be explained as a physiological answer, okay? Okay, so right now we're going to start to analyze this part. So as I told you before, he's going to divide this thing into 7 periods, each period of 7 years for women. And then we are going to see what is the most important characteristics and what is the most important things that are going to happen during these periods of time. So the first thing that is going to happen is when women get to 7 years old, they're going to start to grow teeth. Their hair is going to be longer and it's going to grow, stronger in some way. And here it says that it's going to be full of vitality. Okay, so it means that they're going to be full of yang qi. Okay, When it gets to the 14 years, so the second period, it says that the tiangwei is going to start to produce, and therefore they can have babies. Also means that menstruation will come. Okay, and here to note, we have a new concept that you have to understand. That means tiangwei. Okay, it's a Chinese medicine concept that actually means actually means like hormones. Like nowadays it can see as hormones. So because of the hormonal change in your body, the same happen. A woman can have babies and menstruation will come. We have here an explanation, and it means that actually is the accumulation of qi on your kidneys that is going to produce this change of hormones. But we call it tiangwei in TCM. Okay, so the kidney is going to accumulate energy, and then it's going to pass that energy to the organs, and the organs are going to affect the whole body. Then we are going to talk about that at the end of the chapter. Okay, in the third stage, when the woman gets to 21 years old, we are going to reach maturity. Okay, so reach maturity means it's going to be maturity of the internal organs and sexual organs. Okay, 28 years old, we're going to get to the limit. Okay, so there is no more developed, there is no more yang qi. Okay, the yang qi gets to the limit, the kidney gets to the limit, and then this is an important year to get in mind. Okay, to have in mind. Then the fifth stage we're going to go is when women are 35 years old, is when everything is going to degenerate. Is when she's going to start to get weak. So the first thing to see here is like it's going to start from blood and qi. It's going to be different from men, so you have to have that in mind. So here we are going to start from blood and qi. So and why blood? Because the same reason of menstruation. Okay. In woman, the woman starts to degenerate because of blood. That is the same as the qi. The relation between yin and yang. We can go through a class later. And here we have to understand that because women they lose blood during menstruation, in the same way, because of that loss, they have to compensate in some way. And the compensation is going to be a decrease of energy. Okay. In men, is going to happen the opposite. We are going to start to decrease on kidney energy. Why? Because kidney energy, the main source of sperm, is kidney energy, and because men they lose their sperm when they ejaculate, so we're going to lose kidney energy. Okay, so because men lose this kidney energy, the same is going to be a compensation, and they're going to start to degenerate. Okay, same as the girls, but in different way. So in this stage they start to degenerate, and then the body gets weaker. The same when they get to the stage of 42 years old. Okay, and then the last stage is the stage of the 49 years old. Okay, the last stage means tiangwei is going to stop to be produced, causing total degeneration. In this case, we can actually understand as menopause. Okay, the menopause will start. Okay, there is a hormone misalignment. Okay, there is imbalance of hormones, and then for this reason the period is going to stop, and for this reason women are not going to be able to have babies. Okay, so we analyze already all the stages for women, and then we're going to go for men. Now that we already understand and analyze what is going to happen with women from the stage from 7 to 49 years old, we are going to see what happened to men. So let's read.
丈夫8岁，肾气实，发长齿更。28，肾气盛，天癸至，精气益泄，阴阳和，故能有子。38，肾气平均，筋骨劲强，故真牙生而长疾。48，筋骨隆盛，肌肉满壮。58，肾气衰，发堕齿槁。68，阳气衰竭于上，面焦，发鬓斑白。78，肝气衰，筋不能动，天癸竭，精少，肾脏衰，形体皆疾。88则齿发去。
Okay, now that we finished to read the text, we are going to start to analyze. So as the woman, we are going to see kind of the same pattern, but in this case, we are going to divide it into periods of 8, okay? And the difference here is that men are going to have eight periods. They are going to have 8 stages. In women, we're only 7, and in this case, it's going to be 8. And each period is going to have 8 years. So that's the reason why the men, they get weaker, older than women, okay? That's understand? You understand? Yeah? Okay, so we are going to go. So the first thing that happened is like when men, they are 8 years old, same thing, you know, the teeth and the hair is going to grow and everything, same as women, but it's going to be delayed. So you see, it's a year delay. Okay, when the man, you know, is 16 years old, so the same thing, the tianwei is going to be produced, therefore they can have babies. So in this case, there is no menstruation, of course, you know, so in this case the sperm is going to start to be produced, okay? So man is going to be able to produce sperm. The third stage, same as woman, is going to reach maturity, and then here's where it differs. At age of 32 years old, we are going to get to the limit, okay? So it's when we are going to feel more stronger than ever, and it's really hard to get sick. Remember that in women, this age was 28 years old, okay? In men, it's 32. Okay, right now, it's going to start to degenerate or kind of like get weaker after 40, okay? So from 40, look, the kidney, chi starts to degenerate, and also the body. So in this case, it's not the blood, it's not the chi, it's going to be the kidney chi, okay? So in men, it's going to be a little bit different. So it's going to start from the kidney chi. So this is when it comes a little bit different from women, okay? From 8 to 32 is the same, you know, but from 40 to 64, it's a little bit different, right? Okay, in this case, we continue from 48 years old. So this is the 6th stage, okay, already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, the 6th one. So in men, I told you it's going to be different. So right now, he's going to start to, like the generation is going to start from the upper yang meridians, okay? So the upper yang qi. This can be the reason why men, they get bald, you know, when they are on their 50s, you know, because of the lack of yang qi in the upper meridians, okay? Then we are going to go to the 56, so liver start to degenerate. Also reason for growing white hair, okay? And then the last one, the last thing that is going to happen, the last stage that is going to happen is 64, okay? So the man is going to get to the end of this stage, of all these stages at the age of 64. So is when the tianwei is going to stop and is going to produce total degeneration. So same, it's going to be a hormonal disbalance, okay? And in this case, the tianwei is going to stop. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be able to produce a sperm, but it's going to be less, you know. So in this, it's going to be harder to have babies.